Magnets.
We're going to be talking about how to get $50,000 in the next 90 days.
Yes.
If you guys are serious about getting business funding, you're in the right place today. I'm Marvin.
And I'm Gloria.
And let's jump right into what you're going to need to get $50,000. So a lot of people, they look at, hey, I don't have to use my personal credit in order to get business credit. And that's the farthest thing from the truth, guys.
Most definitely.
You really got to have your personal credit on point. If you guys have trouble with your personal credit, make sure you type AI in the chat.
Yes.
We got a link that we can send you even after this live is over so that we can help you. And so Gloria and I, we help small businesses get funding on a daily, weekly basis. We're always helping entrepreneurs to, achieve their dreams.
Most definitely. And if you have questions, put a message in the chat and let us answer those questions for you. Because let me tell you guys, it's so many myths out there about business credit, and funding, so we're here to help you. We're here to answer all those questions that you may have, and we're here to help you get to the bag.
So look, if you guys have followed us, you will see we have a lot of videos about banks, about credit unions.
Yes.
We talk to you about improving your personal credit score. We even talked to you about raising money through the SBA. We've talked about raising money for real estate, raising money for business, vehicles, cars, all of that. So if you guys want to know more about how to take your business to the next level financially, you guys need to subscribe. Start commenting. If you guys have questions, we're really doing this to be a little bit informal so you guys can ask questions about your business. But I want to ask all you guys, why do you go in business?
Right.
Like, what is your why? Is it because you want time freedom? Is it because you want to spend more time with your family? You want to take more vacations? Put it in the chat why you want to, get more money for your business. Is it equipment? Could be equipment. Could be vehicles. Could be employees. Could be marketing.
What is your why?
Well, my why, I love time freedom. I really love time freedom. I love to be able to do what I want to do when I want to do it. And, now we have the ability to work as long as we have our phone. And as long as we have our laptop.
And internet.
And internet, yeah. And
okay,
internet.
And let me tell you my why. My why was, I wanted to create a legacy for my family.
Right.
Like I work for major corporations, and what I was doing was building their legacy, helping them build their family name. And I'm just like, what legacy are we building?
Right.
So that was really, really important to me. And I love that time freedom came with that, for me. So, you first of all, just take a step back, like Marvin stated, and think about what is your why? Why do you want to be a business owner, or why are you a business owner?
That's important. I think the why is almost as important as, what you're doing. Because sometimes you'll get it confused. You can be really good at what you do, but if you don't raise enough capital for your business, then it's gonna hurt your business.
Most definitely.
And what we've been teaching a lot of our entrepreneurs in our mentoring program is that you don't just raise money one time.
That is fact.
You keep raising money.
Fact.
It's one of these things where every, I would say 6 months maximum, you need to raise more money. Because look at the other companies. Look at companies like Apple. Look at companies like Nike. They're always raising money. You know why? They're coming out with new products.
Most definitely. Like every time they come out with a new product, guess what they do?
Right.
They do a pre-sale.
Yeah.
And the pre-sale is, guess what? That's raising capital.
Yep. And so if you guys have a business and you need more capital, I need you guys to get in the chat. Let's get in the chat and let's talk about what's holding you back, what's stopping you from raising money.
I know one thing that's stopping people. That bad credit.
Right.
So let me tell you, don't let bad credit be an excuse anymore.
Yeah.
Like, we have an AI that can help you. We have a free consultation.
Yes.
We're willing to help you and walk you through and help you get to where you're trying to go. Because trust me, Let me tell you some money magnets. We've been there before.
Yeah.
I've lost things before. I lost my house. I lost my car.
Right.
I've been in that position before. And let me tell you, you are doing a disservice to yourself.
Right.
If you think walking around with bad credit is okay, because it's not.
Yep.
You owe you. Nobody else owes you for you to fix your credit. Nobody owes you that you need to go out and raise capital. Don't get yourself in a tight situation where when you need the money, you can't get the money. So it's better to have the money and not need the money.
Right.
We're not advocates of telling people to go in debt, and we're trying to get you to get all this money so that you can be in debt and you can't pay your bills. But what we're trying to do is help you set yourself up for success.
Exactly.
And with that success is having money that you don't need readily available to you. So when you need it, you have it.
Right. And also, you know, I want to talk to you guys about your LLCs or if you're a sole proprietor. So banks want to lend money to LLCs or corporations.
Yeah.
If you go with as a sole proprietor, now they're going to start asking you for documents. They're going to start asking you for bank statements, profit and loss, all of that. So you might as well set up an LLC. You have a better chance of getting approved, no docs, if you have an LLC or a corporation, if you set up a virtual office, and then also make sure you got your EIN letter from the IRS, and then have your bank account, and then have your email address and your phone number.
Hold on. Now, when Marvin say email address, he means a professional email address.
Right.
We're not talking about a Gmail address. So we're not talking about if your company name is ABC Warehouse, you're like ABC Warehouse at gmail.com. That's a no-no.
Right.
We're talking about a business professional. That's what they call it, a professional email address. Like, for example, my email address is gloria@cafesocialhouse.com or info@cafesocialhouse.com. So you want to have a professional email address, guys.
Yes. And then, you know, once you get all of this set up, now you want to target the banks. You know, if you want to talk about which banks lend the most, I mean, you got the biggest banks. You know, you got Chase, you got American Express.
You got Wells Fargo.
You got Wells Fargo, Citi.
Yeah.
I mean, we can go on and on. But those banks may not be right for you. You know, you got to look at the bank that's right for your business.
That is so
And, you know, just because it's a big bank doesn't mean that's what you go after. You may get more money from a local or a regional bank that's close to your business.
That is so true, Marvin, you know. So, you know, like money magnets, get yourself in position. You know, fix your credit if you have credit issues. If you don't have a business and you want to start a business, don't just jump out there. I know we all have faith, because I have faith. You know what I'm saying? I have faith. But God didn't say have the faith and you don't do the work behind it. You have to do the work in order to get you there. And then you have faith that is gonna succeed because you did the work.
Exactly. And then, you know, once you set up your bank account, what I would do is get to know one of the managers there. You know, somebody at that side, even if you got bad credit, look, you can set up a secure card on the personal side to start building your personal credit so that you can get a business loan. And they even have business secure cards.
Most definitely.
So it's all kinds of secure products, whether you got good credit, whether you got bad credit, you can get started, you can start getting funded. But let's talk about the people that have great credit. So if you got a 680 and above, and you got a business that's been around at least 2 years, 3 years is best, and guess what? A lot of loans, a lot of banks, a lot of credit cards, you'll be able to get with no documentation.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You can get to the bag, y'all.
Yeah.
Oh my God. You can get to the bag.
Yeah. And so what I would do is think about, what banks do I want to target? Do your research.
Yeah.
Figure out what you have locally, what you got regionally, and then what national banks are around you, and choose 3 of them. You know, I would choose 3 banks that fit that criteria. Sorry, you may want a national bank, you may want a regional bank, you may want a local bank. That would be a good mix right there. And then I would call them and I would say, hey, do you have loans under $50,000? You know the reason why I'm saying 50,000, because 50,000 is the number, that you can get no docs. So majority of the people we talk to want to go no docs. So if that's you, like I said, pick 3 banks: national, regional, local, and then call them and talk to the managers and say, hey, what programs do you have for small businesses? And then tell them your credit score. You know, because if you tell them your credit score, bankers, they know products.
Most definitely.
And you can't be evasive. You need to be upfront with them. You need to tell them, hey, this is my credit score, you know, and this is what I'm trying to do. This is the type of business I have. And you'll be surprised, being upfront, letting them know what you want, letting them know who you are and what your credit score is. They might have a product just right for you.
Right, but don't tell them too much when you talk about no docs, okay, y'all?
Right. Don't say, I want no docs. Don't say that. Yes. Let them tell you.
Exactly. Just keep it under 50 and then you should be okay. And depending on which bank you go to, do your research.
Right.
Some banks do ask for documentation even if you are under 50. So do your research, because there's a lot of banks out here that are not asking for any documentation as long as you have a strong credit profile.
Exactly.
Keep that in mind. The credit on the personal side is very, very important. And that's what makes banks trust you, because if you can take care of your personal credit, then they know they feel comfortable enough to lend to you on the business side, because if you're paying these bills, you're going to pay those bills.
Yeah, and then, you know, think about it as, okay, if you look talking about your credit, let's get a little bit more detailed about that.
Yeah.
So with your credit, I would say the best case scenario is if you got 4 credit cards, one of them at least 5 to 7 years old, one of them with at least a $15,000 to $20,000 limit.
Most definitely.
If you have that, more than likely you got a 720. If you have 3 inquiries or less in the last 6 months, look, I believe you got a great chance of getting at least $50,000. And then, you know, when I would say getting 50,000, I'm gonna be more specific. You may want to go for the credit card first.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that, a lot of people hate credit cards. Marvin, I don't want no credit card. You'll be surprised. Right now, there are a lot of lenders with 0% purchases and 0% cash advance. No, I'm sorry.
0 interest.
0% interest
and
on the balance transfer.
And 0% is 0% interest on the card.
Right.
And also 0% interest on a balance transfer.
Correct.
And they're doing this from anywhere from 12 to 15 months. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine going to get a credit card and taking some of those high balance cards that you already have, do a balance transfer, you know, and a lot of these cards are they're not charging you any transfer fees. There's no hidden fees there. So you take those high balance credit cards that you have, transfer them over to the 0% interest, and guess what? You can pay that card down a lot faster. You're not paying interest because there is no interest for 12 to 15 months. I think that right there is a cash flow changer, Marvin.
Yeah, and if you guys want to know these banks, subscribe to our channel. We just dropped probably 2 to 3 videos in the last couple of weeks where we talk about 0% business credit cards. So we're not just telling you guys about it. We already cut the videos. You guys just need to like and subscribe, and then, you know, get on our channel and look around and watch those videos. And, you know, one other thing I want to say, anybody that's suffering from bad credit, make sure you type AI in the chat, and we will send you the software that we have that you can do it yourself, work on your credit. You don't even have to pay a credit repair company if you do the work. Now, if you need help, let us know. We do offer, we offer a free business strategy call where we'll look at your business, we'll look at your personal credit, and then we'll talk to you about a plan to put in place so that you can take that business to the next level.
And trust me, Marvin and I have done the work. We have relationships with personal bankers. So we can take you straight to the personal banker if you have a 680 or above credit score. And we can get you that money. It's $50,000, $75,000. And guess what? They're not asking for docs on a $75,000 credit card.
That's crazy.
Can you use $75,000 to infuse your business? I mean, really. I know I can every day.
Yeah, all the time.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's money out here, money magnets.
All right.
Question.
YOLO Cash Flow says, hello all, U.S. Bank has an 18-month 0% interest business credit card. Yep, there you go.
Yes, did
There
y'all
you go.
hear that?
Yeah.
U.S. Bank has a 0% for 18 months on one of their credit cards.
Yes.
Like, that right there, y'all, is a cash flow changer.
Yeah.
Thank you, YOLO. These are, like, listen, we're dropping you gems. It's all about helping you get yourself in a better position.
Right.
It's all about helping you get to the bag. Because trust me, Marvin and I know what it's like to struggle as a business owner.
Yeah.
We know what it's like to not have enough capital. We know what it's like to have bad credit.
Right.
You know, that's why we come on this channel. That's why that's why we have the channel in the first place.
Yeah.
Because we want to empower your finances. We want to give you the tools that you need to help you win.
Yeah. And then, you know, we're talking about all these 0% cards. Now let's jump over to the loans. Like if you have a profit and loss, you got bank statements that show your income, and you got 2 years taxes, you can actually get a business loan for $50,000. And I'm only talking about $50,000 and below today because a lot of times you can get that with limited or no docs.
Yeah.
You know, it really depends on your financial position.
And your credit.
Your credit.
You know, your credit plays a big role.
Right.
You know, no matter how you look at it, Marvin. Your credit plays
a
a huge role in how the bank wants to lend to you.
Right. And so, you know, the better credit score that you have and the more documentation that you have, a lot of times, guys, you can actually get more than $50,000.
Yeah.
Like we just helped a young lady last week. She had a beauty salon. We helped her get $75,000 with 0% purchases for at least 1 year because she had a 780, almost 790 credit score. And you might be in that position.
That's the money, Mark.
Yeah, and you might be in that position. If you are in that position and you need some help, Gloria and I, we have relationship managers all over the country. We have a lot of them at very big banks, even on the personal side and the business side. And we can save you a lot of time and a lot of red tape.
Yeah.
If you want to deal with our relationship managers, look, make sure you comment below. Make sure you set up
a Zoom appointment. It's a
Zoom
one-on-one
appointment.
free consultation.
Yep.
It's FREE.
Yep.
We're giving you our time for free so that we can look at your business, we can look at your personal credit, we can kind of help you come up with a plan.
Right.
Because that's what it's about. You know how, like, just say for example, you want to go to Ohio or you want to go to Michigan. I'm from Michigan. You want to go somewhere, right?
Right.
And you go use a GPS. Old school days, we use the map. But you go use a GPS to help you get to that final destination, correct?
Right.
So you need to have a GPS. You know, why reinvent the wheel?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You have the experts right here to help you and guide you through and take you to where you're trying to go.
Yep, and YOLO Cash Flow says the loans interest rates are dropping as well. Yes. I mean, they cut the Fed rate, I think, last month. So, you know, yes, rates are dropping a little bit. And so this is a great time to get business funding. You know, even when the economy is sluggish, the banks will still lend. They just want you to have good credit. Yeah. You know, and so speaking of good credit, let's talk about right now in the U.S., we have the highest credit card debt that we've ever had in the history of the United States. We have over $1.4 trillion worth of consumer debt. That's a lot of debt. And this report we read didn't really include business debt. So I would assume the debt ceiling, the debt is super high right now. So guys, everyone should be looking for low interest or 0% interest credit cards. Even if you got it for 1 year, you'd be surprised how much money you save in interest.
And just think about it, Marvin. I know a lot of business owners because I'm one of those business owners that was wondering too. Right. In my mind, I'm like, everything has slowed down. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Spending has slowed down, but prices have gone up. Yes. You know, the prices of groceries. You know, me and Marvin just went to the grocery store and we ain't buy but one meat. And we end up spending close to $400. I'm like, oh my God, what did we buy? Right. You know, so prices are going up, you know, and people are not spending as much. You know, we're not as busy as we used to be at the restaurant. You know, we have pockets of days that we're really, really busy. You know, like when people want to go out to eat after church and
Right.
stuff like that. So in my mind, I start analyzing and I'm like, okay, why we're not as busy as we used to be? Because there's not money on the streets like it was.
Right.
You know, the government dumped all of this money on the streets.
Yeah.
And people had a lot they were expending. Y'all know what I'm talking about, because you know what the Gucci and the Louis stores, the lines look like back a couple of years ago, right?
Right.
So all that money on the street, and now it's not as much money on the street. And then with the prices going up, inflation,
yeah.
You know, it's like people are starting to hold on to their cash. So guess what happens when people stop spending?
It's a recession.
We go into a recession.
Yeah.
People are starting to not spend, and they're starting to hold on to their money. You know, like we have a friend, okay? He has a business, and he does, like, he's in the construction space. Do you know what people tell him when he's going out to his appointments? I'm holding on to my money because I want to see what the election look like.
Yeah, that's everybody's biggest excuse right now to not spend money. Nobody's spending major money because they're saying, I want to wait for the election. And the funny part is, even when the election takes place, if it changes hands, you know, if we go from Democrats to Republican or whatever happens, it's still going to take 6 months to a year for them to implement whatever they're going to implement in their administration.
So you're not going to see any immediate change. It takes time, because you know what? When they pass a bill, it has to get voted on.
Right.
It's not like the president just signed and be like, okay, this is law.
This is happening,
No, it doesn't work like that. It's going to take time for change to come. So guess what? The everyday people are going to suffer, and we're going to have to wait until, you know, change comes, and we're all hoping for it, you know, because it is tight out here. Like, Marvin, we talk to so many different potential clients every single day.
Right.
And I'm going to tell y'all, I'm just keeping it real. Life is lifing.
Yeah. Yes, a lot of people going through a lot, you know. And the one consistent thing that we see is most people have really, really high credit card debt. So we just dropped a video, I think about 2 weeks ago, where we're showing you guys how to consolidate. You know, there are companies out here that will help you consolidate your debt. And if you're on the personal side of if you have your business debt on your personal credit, then look, guys, you got to work real hard to get that debt off of your personal credit and onto your business if it's truly business expenses, because you shouldn't be using your personal credit, you know, for business debt.
No, you shouldn't.
You know, you should actually start getting yourself funded, getting the credit cards, the loans, and let's talk about lines of credit. We didn't talk about that yet.
Yeah, let's talk about that, because everybody, I'm going to be honest,
Everybody
want to hear about a B-Lock. Business line of credit, which is a B-Lock. Everybody want to know about the B-Lock.
Yeah, and everybody thinks like, look, I want a line of credit, Marvin. What do I got to do? And the thing is, when the economy gets tighter, guys, they want you to have 2 to 3 year tax returns. They want you to be doing business with that bank at least 6 months to a year.
Facts.
And they probably want you to have a profit and loss so they can see where you currently are in your business. They're not giving out lines of credit like they used to. No. Like 3 years ago, oh man, you could have got a credit card, a loan, and a line of credit. But today, you better be lucky that you can still get a 0% credit card.
I agree with you.
The higher your credit score is, the better chances you have. But the thing that really gets you over the hump is having the documentation. You know, I think all day long, if you got the documents, then now we're talking over 50,000. We're talking somewhere between 75 and 150,000 if you have documentation. And so if you guys are having trouble with business credit cards, with business loans or business lines of credit, please drop the comments below. Put some comments, guys. Let us know what you're struggling with and what's holding you back, because we want to know what content we should make that's going to help you guys out. Because for us, it's showing you guys how to navigate what's going on. Like Gloria made a good point. She said when people stop spending and they start saving, it creates a recession.
Most definitely.
Right now, most people are not spending as much because their credit cards are maxed out.
Most definitely.
So you got to think about it. What is going to get everybody spending again? You know, what's going to get the economy moving? I know everybody's thinking the election, the election, the election, but you know, it's got to be a little bit.
Time.
Yeah, it's going to take some time. And then if you're in business, guys, you got to raise capital, because in raising capital, guess what happens then? You're going to start spending. So when small businesses really motivate and run the economy, you know, small businesses run the American economy all day long, because our businesses are spending daily, we're hiring daily, and we're, you know, consuming goods. So, and remember this, guys, I want you guys to really make this a habit. Start to raise capital every 6 months. I mean, literally pick out 3 banks right now, and then write them down, and then go set up a bank account. 1 bank account per month. Don't set up a bunch of bank accounts. 1 per month. And then go in there and start meeting the employees, meet the manager. And then, like Gloria said, I might not tell them all of my business, but I would express to them that, hey, I do want a relationship with your bank.
And that's what bankers want to hear, Mark.
Yeah.
You know, banking is getting to the point where they don't want you to just snatch and grab.
Right.
I infuse your business or your life with capital.
Right.
And then what are you giving me in return? They want to build that long-term relationship.
Exactly.
Which, as though they should.
Yeah.
You know, that's what it's about. And when you get with a bank and you stick with them and you start building that relationship, guess what? When times are tough, they're going to be right there to have to hold your hand and to have your back. You know, I've seen people, you know, that come into our program, and they were able to still go to their bank and their credit wasn't so good, but because the bank, they had such a great relationship, and the bank looked at it like, okay, you just had a hiccup, so you know, you've been banking with us for 10 years or 5 years or whatever the case may be, and you've never had a problem. So banks do look at it that way.
They do.
But you have to build that relationship.
Yeah, in order to have that. And like Gloria's saying, when you go open up a new bank account with, say, a Chase, U.S. Bank, like Yolo mentioned, you know, Citibank. If you open up an account, make a regular direct deposit.
Yes.
You know, even if it's just $50 or $100, start a direct deposit to let them know, hey, I want to build a relationship. And if you really want to establish a good relationship, put at least $5,000 in there.
Yeah.
If you can put $5,000 in there, that'll raise your bank rating score.
And then keep in mind, guys, that when you're doing this, the bank is gonna love you for it.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be honest with you. They're gonna love you for this. So, you know, we're dropping these gems to help you scale your business, take it to the next level, get your personal credit and your personal finances on point, because that's what it's all about. That's the only way that you're going to be able to scale your business, is by sitting down, putting it all down, maybe write it down.
Yeah.
You know, maybe write it down.
That's important. Yeah.
Put down your goals, where you're trying to go at the end of the day, because you know, you got to be able to see it to be able to believe it. You know?
Right. And then, you know, we help a lot of people, you know, reach their goals. We had a young lady, I want to say about 3 weeks ago now. She came to us, she was about $30,000 in personal debt.
Yeah.
Like Gloria said, her credit score was like a 660, 670.
Yes.
We were able to help her get $30,000 in a consolidation loan. She was able to consolidate that debt, and now her credit score went up. Now she has over 700 because she was able to consolidate. And then we were able to get her $50,000. So she went from having a low credit score to now she has a super high credit score, has 50 grand, and now she has the money to improve her business.
And let me tell you guys what happened, okay? Just so that you know, you have a good understanding of this, because this is a gem that's really important.
Right.
Okay? Credit card debt weighs heavier on your credit than an installment loan. So we were able to get her credit card utilization down, but she picked up an installment loan and it shot her credit score to the roof. Now just think about this. Just think if you wanted to pay a loan off and you got a credit card and you did it the other way around.
Right.
Then guess what? Your score is going to drop tremendously.
Right.
So keep in mind, it's really, really important that credit card weighs heavier. You know, you get more points taken away if you max out a card. Just say, for example, I've seen people their credit drop 50, 60 points for just maxing out one credit card.
Right.
So it's really, really important that you understand that those credit cards weigh heavy on your credit report versus a installment loan. So you always can get an installment loan, pay down the credit card debt, and your credit score is going to go up.
Right. And let's just say you just went through credit repair and you don't have much credit. We see this a lot. You know, we see a lot of people in their 40s and their 50s, and they just had credit repair, but their credit looks blank. So I would tell you, go out and get a secure card. You know, and I'm gonna tell you a little nugget we just heard the other day that I didn't know. Chase has an unsecured credit card. Even if you have bad credit, if you put $250 in a Chase checking account, they will give you a unsecured card. It's going to be a low limit, but the fact that it's unsecured without those crazy fees, guys, that's a nugget all by itself.
Most definitely. So we're not talking about the first Premier is going to charge you. Your interest rate is going to be high. You know, by the time you get through paying all late fees, you don't have no money left on this card and you maxed out, and how's it going to help your credit until you pay it down with the low limit? You know, so Chase is saying, hey, this is our second chance program where when you put $250 in an account, we're gonna take a chance on you. Your limit may only be $250. I don't know, but it's going to be a low limit. But they're gonna take a chance on you, and it's an unsecured card. So that's a good way to jump start your credit. You have to you can't just go get trade lines and think that that's going to just do it now. You have to have something in your own name, you know, that you are the guarantor on. Not Marvin being the guarantor on and adding me, but me having my own credit in my own name that I've established. You know, you have to have that.
Yeah, and you know, if you add that, say you get this Chase, let's call it $300 limit. I don't know what it is, but they want you to open a personal bank account. They're going to give you a card. Let's just say it's $300. And then you add authorized users. I would let that card get 3 to 6 months old. I would say 6 months. You know, usually credit runs in 6 months for the best results. So say you get this card from Chase, you let it age 6 months. Then you add 2 authorized users
to it.
So if you guys don't know what an authorized user is, it's like Gloria said. If I add Gloria to my credit card that I've had for 10 years with a $25,000 limit, with about $5,000 on the balance, that's going to make her credit score go up. So let's do this again. If you in credit repair and you just got out, you got no inquiries, but you don't have any revolving credit, get somebody to add you as authorized user to their credit cards, like a 10-year-old card with about a $25,000 limit. On the second card, it could be 5 to 7 years old with a $10,000 limit. You just want high limits that look like a 40 or 55-year-old should have credit like that. You want to be able to manipulate that so that you can get approved.
But you also got to have something in your own name. Let's be clear on that too.
Well, I'm saying they had a Chase card. And if you wanted to, another option is open a secured card. You can get a secured card in your name, and you can have this card from Chase, 2 authorized users. Now you got 4 revolving accounts. All you need at that point is just time, guys.
Most definitely.
You just need time to take place so that you can have this set up and be able to get back to where you were. I mean, trust me, I went through having bad credit. That's why I'm in the credit business.
Most definitely.
You know, when I was about 28, 29 years old, I lost my first business, destroyed my credit. And the hard thing was I didn't have anybody really to ask, how do I fix it? You know, I would get little nuggets here, little nuggets there, like Marvin, you could settle with the collection agencies. Okay, cool. I could settle with them, but then that makes my credit even worse when I pay it. What do I got to do to delete it? You know, like I want to get back, like when I was having issues with my credit, man, the only thing you want is to see that 700 credit score again.
Credit, that is so important. Like once you have a 700 credit score, oh my God, it hurts your heart to not have that again.
And for those of you who do have a 700, the thing I want you guys to focus on, which I know you do because you got a 700, make sure your inquiries are low. Make sure in 2024, before you go apply at a bank, you don't have more than 3 inquiries. And then if this is too overwhelming, you don't have enough time, you're really busy in your business, you can call us, you can set up a free business strategy call, and we can help you with our relationship managers get funded. So if you guys want to get funded and you want to work with us, make sure you check the link in the description below. And with Luxury Credit Secrets, you can set up a Zoom call, and it's called a free business strategy call. Yep. And just to give you a little bit of what the calls look like, we get on there, we ask you to have a credit monitoring already set up so that we can see your credit. We don't want your login and password. All you got to do is show us what your credit looks like by scrolling through the credit report. We can look at it and we can tell you whether you're ready or not. We'll make some recommendations. We'll look at your business. And if you don't know where to check your business, make sure you go to the Secretary of State in your state. So it could be Secretary of State of Maryland or Secretary of State of Illinois. Look at the Secretary of State. Make sure your business is in good standing. We had a guy, a couple weeks ago that he didn't pay his fees to the Secretary of State.
And lost $50,000.
And he lost 50 grand, guys.
Oh my God.
He lost 50
I felt bad for him.
Yeah. So make sure you check the Secretary of State. If you want to check your business credit, there's a website with several websites. I'm going to give you 2. You can go to smartbusinessreports.com. That's Experian Business. Then you can go to Dun & Bradstreet and check your Dun & Bradstreet. Make sure you got a Dun & Bradstreet number. If you don't have a number, go to their website. They'll show you how to get a Dun & Bradstreet number. So you got Dun & Bradstreet, Smart Business Reports, you got the SBFE, and you got Equifax. But I would really only be concerned with Dun & Bradstreet and Smart Business Reports. And once you check, because we had somebody else, her addresses were mixed up. So if you've changed addresses in your business, make sure you go to the Secretary of State and also the Smart Business Reports and Dun & Bradstreet and verify that your addresses are correct. We had another business client that she went from a virtual address to her home address. And her addresses were, it was a mismatch.
What? We were able to fix it before she went to the bank. That's part of that free strategy call.
Exactly.
We were able to fix it, and guess what? She was able to get
$75,000 at the first bank. So imagine if she wouldn't have had that address straight, she would have got denied.
Most definitely.
But if you guys got questions, this call is for you guys. So if you got questions, drop comments in the chat, guys. We're live right now, and we can answer those questions. If you got any questions, look, any question is a great question. There are no dumb questions. If you guys have...
That one's not a good question. I see a question up there that's not great.
If you guys got any questions, definitely drop them in the chat.
I'm sorry.
Let us know what we can do to... Let us know what we can do to help you guys out.
I had to tell Marvin that, because that question right there is not a good question. Diddy's not here.
Right. But no, if you guys got any questions about your businesses, you got any questions about your Dun & Bradstreet number, your Smart Business Reports, and I'll tell you a little bit about that. If you guys are wondering what is a good business credit score, so if you don't know, business credit goes from 0 to 100. All right, anything above 80 is a good business credit score. So a lot of times you want to be somewhere between 80 and 90. If you have a 90 business credit score, that'll help you and get approved. But remember, you can't just use your business credit score to get approved. It helps. Don't get me wrong. It does help, but I don't want you to think that's the end of it. You need more than that. And somebody's saying Dun & Bradstreet is not being used in New Jersey. When I did, I have my address correct. I was corrected when I applied for my cage code and UEI number. Okay. Well, if your business or your industry doesn't use it, it's not as important as it used to be. So I'm going to say this. Dun and Bradstreet 20, 30 years ago
was everything.
It was everything. Right now, if I were you, I would concentrate more on Experian and SBFE.
And if you need help, set up that free call.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll help you. We can look at it, give you some directions and help you decide what you need to do, based off the information that you give us.
Right, and it's good that you corrected your address.
Very important.
That always helps. Having correct information helps all the time. Making sure, like, let's go over the business profile. So you got your business name, you got your EIN number, your address, your physical address, your email address, and your phone number.
Professional email address.
Yeah. So make sure all of those components are correct. And then that gives you a great foundation, when you go to the bank. Now, other things you might want to watch out for. Like I talked to a gentleman today, and he said, Marvin, I'm in check systems, and I might be in early warning.
Yeah.
So if you ever had an overdrawn checking account or a checking account that you bounced a check on or something like that, definitely pull your early warning report. You can type this in Google and order the report, earlywarning.com. And the other one is Check Systems, but checks is spelled CHEX systems.com. You can order a Check Systems report. You can get it in 5 business days.
And it's good to order that anyway, just so you can know. Because let me tell you guys a little story real quick. Marvin and I, we wanted to be a part of this amazing bank. And this bank finances in all countries, right? So we went to New York. You can't even just walk into it. And it's not just a bank, it's a credit union.
Yeah, it's a credit union.
You can't walk into the credit union. You have to wait for someone to come down to get you. And they have security everywhere.
Right.
You have to go through the metal detectors and everything just to get into the building, okay? And when Marvin went in to try to be, he wanted to join the bank because we knew that we wanted to buy something out of the country. We wanted to be, we wanted to be one of those people that were, worldwide. We traveled everywhere,
right.
And so they denied us getting in the bank, being a part of that institution because they pulled the check systems that he had opened too many accounts, and they wanted to know why.
Yeah, why? Yeah. They wanted to know why I opened bank accounts, and I told them, I said, look, our daughters are going to college, and I want a bank or a credit union near where they are, so we don't have any trouble getting them money if we have to. But then I learned the lesson, and I'm still, I learn stuff all the time. Because I opened up 4 bank accounts in less than 30 days, I got an automatic denial of getting in that credit union.
But guess what? We still end up getting in. We circle back. But this is just a good note, so you should, pull your check systems and your early warning just so you can see, because it shows every time you've opened up a new bank account.
Right. So D is saying, initially, I used the P.O. Box for privacy when I applied for my UEI and cage code. A P.O. Box was not allowed. Yes, that's true. Like a lot of times with business, they don't, I know a lot of people want privacy. They don't want anybody knowing where their home is or where they're, where they live.
That's why you have to get a virtual office.
Yeah, I would suggest everyone. It's worth the money.
Yeah.
Usually it's only $99. I'll make sure if you need a virtual office,
we'll drop a link.
Yeah, put it in the chat, and I'll make sure I drop a link later to give you one. And this one that we got a virtual office that also reports to business credit.
Most definitely.
So not only will you get a virtual office, it will help you build your business credit.
Most definitely.
So yeah, D, if I were you, I would use a virtual office. I know most people don't like to use their home address for privacy reasons, but a virtual address or a virtual office is worth its money, all day long. I would just think about doing that. I wouldn't use the P.O. Box. Of course, you found out you can't. And a lot of banks still accept virtual offices. And then, you have a lot of, I would call them like mini offices, like a one-room office. So a lot of buildings now, especially since COVID and how commercial buildings are just vacant right now, I'm sure you can get some good deals on a one-room office.
Most definitely.
Yeah. So guys, if you want to build business credit, Make sure you subscribe. We have a lot of live videos. Our old live videos, they're about SBA. They're about building business credit, getting vehicles, buying real estate with business credit. Check out our catalog, guys. All you got to do is subscribe, comment, and look, set those notifications so that when we go live, that you guys will get the notification, because we want to be here to help keep you guys informed, help you guys empower your finances, and help you raise a bunch of capital for your business. I mean, it's a lot going on in this economy, guys, but I'm telling you, we're getting people approved every week for business funding. So don't forget to set that
that notification.
Set that notification.
Thank you too, D. And Michelle, no worries. We're gonna drop a link for the virtual office.
Yes. And Michelle and D, if you don't mind, what type of businesses do you guys have? Can you put that in the chat? I'd like to know what type of business. Sounds like you got you're doing government contracting when you're talking about cage codes and all of that. It sounds like you guys might be doing some government stuff. So Yellow Cash Flow says Opus. Yes, that's what I'm talking about, Yellow.
That's the one we're gonna put in the chat.
Reports to business credit. And you said must Google the address to ensure it's a commercial property address. Yes. Thank you for the good information. And then D says non-emergency medical transportation. All right.
That's good.
Congratulations.
That's amazing.
Yep, congratulations, guys. Well, I want to say thank you guys
for jumping on
this live. This was absolutely amazing. Set them notifications so you don't miss our next live. And we drop videos on Sunday and Thursday. So we're going to try to make sure we do our lives on Tuesday, but set your notifications. We've been traveling lately. I don't want you guys to miss it. And I want to say thank y'all.
Thank you, guys.
Have a great night. Make sure you check out the next video, because we're going to tell you guys more about business credit and business loans. See y'all later.